Welcome back, guys, to another video. For today, I want to get into the partial cloverleaf that is on the screen. How do you build the partial cloverleaf in Cities Skylines? Well, let's get started. So first and foremost, this interchange is not the biggest in the world, so that's kind of like a good disclaimer because this interchange is perfect for smaller, I would say smaller towns. This is not for a big city. So the very first thing we need to do is to create this partial cloverleaf is we need to build a large road over the highway itself. So what I did was I had a 13 unit road and it was 39 feet high. So basically we needed to have the road be high enough to get over the highway itself. Then on the right and left hand side, so on the right side, you can kind of see that I go 12 units down and then it's flush to the ground. So again, if you didn't see it the first time, I'm going all the way out to the left and going down and going 12 units to the right and left. So now that we have that in place, we need to start creating the partial interchange. So what we're doing is to the right, we're going to go up 4 units. Now we need to go, so we're trying to get a decent guideline and trying to keep those together and trying to even those out because that's going to be one of our highway exits. So the problem is you can't go under the bridge. As you can see, I am struggling. So what I did was I went under the bridge and I just started from there. I used the node that was under the bridge and then I went 4 out and I tried to get it as close as possible so that both those roads do match up. So overall, we have 4 unit roads on the left and the right. Now, we did want to, if you do have an issue with it being 4 units, what I did was I tried to make those lined up as best as possible. And yeah, good stuff. So for step number 3, we need to use the curve tool and try to get 2 7-unit roads to the right. So you can see how I have 1 7 unit and then I did another one. Now we did even that out as best as possible just to kind of keep it even. So for our 4th step, what we need to do is same distance out. We're going to have a 7 to 8 unit road right hand turn to the right, and this is going to be our on ramp. So what I did was I went another 7 units to the left, and so we're trying to maintain the same 7 units as we're building this partial cloverleaf intersection. So what you're going to need to do next is, remember, that is an on and off ramp. So what we need to do is we need to upgrade this highway off ramp. So very beginning, you're going to see the #1 mistake I made. I grabbed the one-way road, which that is not what we want. So we wanted a 2-way highway road, and you can see there's 1 lane coming off the highway and then the other is going on. So it's a 2-way directional national road. Okay, so now that we have that in place and we fixed our very minor error with upgrading the wrong roads, what we'll do is we're gonna grab the node controller. As you can see, it's kind of, you can see our roads are kind of just like disjointed. Yeah, exactly. So they do look bad. So try to hit the plus sign to straighten everything out. But if you don't, we want to align these roads. So see to the purple, we aligned the road to the right. Now we're aligning the road to the left. You hold down the shift button and you press down and this will kind of separate the roads into 2. So what we'll do next, so this is our 5th step is, well, obviously node controller was the 5th step, but then our 6th step is just use the move it mod and slightly drag over some of the roads. And look at, you have an intersection. Now we will fill in that intersection as time goes on, so I'm not too worried about it. If you really want, you can stretch and use node controller and stretch those a little bit more, but overall, it looks good, and you can still tweak it if you really want to, like hold down the shift button and stuff like that. But you know, it's just all about your eye test, and if it looks good to you, I highly suggest you keep going. So what we're gonna do next is we need to actually create the highway exit. So the highway exit is gonna go underneath the bridge, and it's gonna connect up over in this general direction. And we went over 19 units, and then we did another 7 unit. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, I swear to God, we're getting there. It's another 7, there you go, 7 unit turn onto the highway. So everything is working out super insanely good. Remember to move all of your arrows so you have your roads going, you know, make sure your road directions are correct. So like what I did there is I upgraded the roads. So now our next step is we need to create another on and off ramp. So what we're doing is 7 units by 7 units, and we're going to connect that up very carefully. So what we want to do is for this exit this is how the cars are going to go off the exit to the right and directly onto our large road. So what I did for that was another 7 unit right hand turn, and we X that out. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect this to the interchange. So this is going to try to help improve traffic. So again, we're going to have to use the TMP traffic manager on this, but you know, make sure that these cars can just go right. Essentially, we don't want them to go left and clog up the traffic. So again, we're back at the dreaded ugly intersection, and try your best to use the node controller as much as possible. If it's clunky, you know, like it's kind of, you know, node controller kind of does not like what we just did. So what we'll do is we'll continue to drag the road a little bit with the move it mod. So, you know, for just when you're using the node, let's just put a disclaimer. When you're using the node controller and move it mod, like, you know, these things will be temperamental, but eventually as you move them a little bit, they'll all be fixed. And as you can see, everything worked out amazing and looks good. So what you need to do is repeat the same process on the other side. So now that we have both of the partial cloverleafs in place, I just wanted to show you some of the detailing. Now this is the sped up version of it. What I did was I decided to fill in the concrete. So this is the surface painter mod, which you can get from the Cities Skylines Steam Workshop. And it works out pretty well. Now I didn't do the fencing throughout the entire intersection. So a lot of highways in the United States, they have sound barriers, and that white fence works out pretty amazing. And oftentimes in the United States, a lot of our highways have rocks and bushes, and a lot of things are just overgrown for the detailing. So what I did was on both sides of this partial cloverleaf, I decided just to add a bunch of rocks and a few trees. Like, very rarely do we have intersections in the United States where there's nothing there, at least in the northeast of the United States. So again, just plugging down a lot of different shrubs and trees. Again, it's just showing that it's overgrown. I think this is a really nice detail if you do add this to your partial cloverleaf. That's just me, that's just my opinion. Please guys, in the comment section below, if you like what you're hearing, please hit that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. We get our butts kicked by the YouTube algorithm, so this will definitely help. So I definitely appreciate that very much. So as we transition away to the fully completed partial cloverleaf, I think everything turned out very, very, very well. This is a very good intersection if you don't have that much room, and this is not for a big city. So as you can tell, I did add a little bit of the line intersection marking tool. You can fill it in with a filler. I just wanted to show you that, you know, you're able to do that. Like, you can see the filler to the left, you can see more of our sound barrier fences. Again, if this is vanilla, you know, if you just, you know, wanted to add a vanilla fence, it honestly looks really, really good. Now, in front of you is without the line intersection marking tool and no node controller. And this is what it looks like with the completed node controller and making sure everything is aligned. So guys, I think this partial cloverleaf turned out amazing. Please let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this intersection? Are you a fan of it? Do you like when they're diagonal? You know, obviously the partial cloverleaf can go multiple different ways, but I think this one works out if you don't have too much space to work with. So guys, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Have a great day.